Shit.
Chris Scouser here with
Matt Howell. And this week on the first run, we check out the latest from Josh Safdie and everybody's insufferable young actor, Timothy Chalamet.
coming out.
Have you not seen any of his interviews about talking about how he's like the next Daniel Day-Lewis, and that if he's not gonna like put that forth effort, he doesn't even want to do this, and just like he's just disgusting.
I'm thinking this. I understand that this is all kind of an act to kind of promote the film, like not as crazy as Joaquin Phoenix when they did the "I'm Not Here"
Sure.
thing, but that's kind of this. He's trying to raise awareness by being a little outrageous. Is my
okay. Well, I guess that's you can always. I guess that's he's employing the "just kidding" defense. It was a joke, guys. Anyway.
Yeah, everybody calm. Calm. Let's like. All right, everybody relax.
That means Chris really liked this movie. Marty Supreme is what we're going to be talking about, and then we're going to give you the the top 5 other things that we've either watched or played or read or listened to, just because we have impeccable taste and we think that you should know about it, right?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Like a game. I play like no video games anymore. It's been forever.
I got 2 games on my list.
Look at you. I'm still occasionally popping open the Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, I did that like 4 times this year. And I tried playing Borderlands 3 twice. And I started up and then I play it for half an hour and then I go to bed or something. That's why I haven't bought a PS5, because I have like 4 or 5 games I haven't played on the PS4 yet, for Pete's sake.
Ridiculous.
Though if they do an Arkham game or something else. Though I hear that Indiana Jones game is supposed to be really fun. So
yeah, I haven't played it.
There you go.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come out hot for Timothy Chalamet. I'm just trying to be engaging.
That's right.
Engaging in our little lead up here.
I like it. No, that's it. And we've become a GameStop podcast clearly now too. All right, Matt, would you like to hear a clip from Marty Supreme?
Yeah, please, can we?
You got it, buddy.
How you doing?
Hard. Look what I got for you.
What is this?
Check it out.
What am I looking at?
Turn it over.
Manager?
Manager.
Come on, Murray.
Whatever you do, just don't tell Lloyd about
Look,
this,
I've been very clear with you, all right? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You built something very commendable here. It's been good for my soul.
I don't want to discuss this now.
Stop. Let me say something. It's been good for my soul to see this up close and personal.
I don't want to.
But I'm not a shoe salesman. I'm not a shoe salesman.
I don't want to discuss this.
No, but I do want to discuss it now, because when I'm back from my trip, this is over. I'm not coming back here and doing this. Speaking of which, can we settle up now? I gotta buy my plane ticket.
We'll settle at closing.
I wanted to see the travel agent on my lunch break.
You'll never come back after your lunch break.
That's what you think of me?
Yes.
You think I would go and I just not come back?
I said settle at closing, okay?
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
I love you.
Goodbye. Matt, you know what? You accused me. You straight out said, "Oh, it looks like Chris liked this movie." And I am just going to straight out and say, yes,
you loved it.
Very much so.
You know what? We've been doing this for a long time. I've known you for a long time, Chris. I can tell. I got the signs. You got some tells.
Well, I was very hesitant to see this. For the longest time, I was trying to figure out a way to avoid this movie. Because, first off, it stars Kevin O'Leary, who was just an unrelenting, piece of
Shit.
That's right. And then also I found out that what's his name there, John Catsimatidis is in this too, who was another just horrible guy. And I'm tired of seeing bad people get good things. It bothers me.
Well,
so
I mean, it's not like the entire history of the world is that, right?
Yeah, fair. But I kept seeing Sterling review after Sterling review, and then I saw all the reviews for Anaconda, which was kind of one of the things we had in the running. Not so Sterling, and quite horrible, actually. And then I also wanted to do The Secret Agent, which I'm going to try and figure out a way to do. Though it's only going to down to like 1 or 2 screenings by the time this show drops on Friday. And I want to stress, too, this is not quite we're still in 2025 while we're recording this, so it's New Year's Eve, right? So, which we'll come into. I'll explain that later why I'm bringing that up. But yeah, no, Matt, I thought this was a lot of fun. Very kind of reminiscent in some ways about the suffocating, claustrophobic nature that was like Uncut Gems. And there's also a little thing in this that hit me in the beginning. I was like, he's not. Is he doing what I think he's doing? And then when the movie wrapped and you have the final scene and that drop occurs, right? That needle drop hits. I'm like, this has to be what's happening here. But I'll explain more of that soon too, Matt. But what are your thoughts on Marty Supreme? Did you like it as much as I did? Because I'm sitting right now, Matt. This is probably one of my favorite films.
Yeah,
of the year.
well, why don't you? I got you all worked up. Got you running over in front of yourself. Why don't you tell us, the folks at home, what Marty Supreme is about?
Oh wow! See, that's how excited I am about it. You're entirely right. So Marty Supreme, as Matt said, the latest film, just one directed by Josh Safdie. Benny's not involved here, though. He did connect again with Ronald Bronstein, who has been a co-writer for a bunch of their projects, also edits their films or co-edits them as well. So, but one of Matt's favorite actors, Timothy Chalamet, plays Marty Mauser, who is a shoe salesman, as you kind of heard in the beginning there, but he also is a professional table tennis player. We don't want to use derivative terms like ping pong, but he is a professional table tennis player playing in tournaments all over the world. And he basically gets blindsided by a Japanese player. I should stress too, this film is set in 1952. So that plays into things here. But he's blindsided in the British Open. He loses to this Japanese phenom who he thinks was cheating. Because basically, if Marty loses, it can't be because of his own failure. That's one of the core conceits of the entire film, right, Matt? Is that he is so dedicated to becoming the world's best table tennis player. Nothing else matters. Be it family, love, his own economic stability and comfort. Nothing matters. All he has to do is get to that next tournament, win the big prize, and be the best in the world. And that's basically it. This is like an Odyssean, is that the right way to say it? Journey through a small period of Marty's life. All the crazy things that he encounters as he tries to scrounge up enough cash to get to Tokyo for a rematch and to become the world's best player, and all the crazy stuff that happens to him over the intervening I don't even know. Was it days, weeks, months?
I'm not even sure.
The whole thing, though, just grabs you by the neck and never lets go. So that's, I guess, generally what it's about.
All right, very good. So what were you going to ask me? You were asking what I thought about this film?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean...
what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree with Chris. I quite liked it. I think it's one of the better films I've seen this year. I think where, Josh Safdie or the Safdie brothers, obviously Benny wasn't heavily involved in this film. But it's another one of these kind of like stories about basically a terrible person, like in Uncut Gems, except Timothy Chalamet is much more charming, much more engaging. I'm much more inclined to side with Timothy Chalamet and forgive him his transgressions, less than I was at Sandler's character in Uncut Gems. And I think that's all to the movie's benefit, whereas, Uncut Gems, as good as it is, I never really got any feeling that I really wanted to watch it again, whereas this is kind of this roguish rapscallion who's quintessentially not a good person, but he's driven at the very least, and he's at least charming while he does it. Obviously this thing kind of lives and dies on Timothy Chalamet, and he delivers really, and it's an engaging story about a guy who will do anything to succeed in his chosen profession, which just happens to be table tennis, which sounds ridiculous when you kind of lay it all out there like that, but yeah, it really works.
Yeah, and his arrogance in this film too, just about how he is the best, he will be the best, and he just has, this is his mission in his life, this is why he exists. Nothing else matters. The married girlfriend that he has who becomes pregnant, it does not matter. He has one singular goal, and everything else is a waste or a drag on his greatness. Thankfully, Chalamet does as the film progresses, has a moment of clarity, I think, at the end, and reaches a point of self-reflection and maturity where he realizes maybe that is not the only thing in the world. Though, granted, it's only after he's able to get to Tokyo. So, I will say too, Matt, I think this is a career-defining performance for Chalamet. It's the first time I've seen him in a movie where I didn't feel like that's Timothée Chalamet. He's doing an acting. Right? This is the first time I saw him, and I lost him in the character. Every other time, he's always just that, razor sharp cheekbone, chin, little, just big screen, adorable twink guy, right? That everybody loves. But he's still always been, as I see him, that's Timothée Chalamet. Here, he's Marty. He's Marty. And I think he does a fantastic job, surrounded by an equally good cast. And one of the things I appreciate about the Safdie brothers, and of course, something that Josh does here too, is a mix of actors and then just people. Non-actors, regular old people, even if it does include just absolute jackholes like Kevin O'Leary and John Catsimatidis. But, and I guess maybe including them, I get that their personalities and what they are, and maybe he's trying to do like a subtle critique of them as who they are in real life. But I fear it's more about he's going for authenticity in an environment than he is any kind of subtle mocking of the people that are there. I didn't get any real biting sarcasm or judgment on them as people, right, for who they are in real life. More just as characters. They are kind of outsized versions of themselves in a way, but not as evil as I think they are in real life. But still, it's a great cast. I love to Gwyneth Paltrow, though I guess it originally was offered to Julia Roberts, who had declined. But Odessa Zion, who plays the married girlfriend, she is quite good in this as well. I rather enjoyed her. And of course, one of the big moments for me was Abel Ferreira showing up as a potential gangster, somebody on the dark side of the law, right? Absolutely fantastic. He's the guy who owned the dog, desperate to get his dog back. So it was great seeing Abel again, one of the legendary pioneers of independent cinema, particularly in New York City. But I really appreciate how Safdie Matt is able to create this almost entirely suffocating, epic experience about a guy playing ping pong. And I like that. And its ultimate message is that no matter how hard you hustle, you can't make it on your own. You can't. You need other people. You need luck, but you need support, love, and other people. Or it's just, you're not going to make it, or at least you're going to be miserable. And I really appreciate it. And that is the core of why I think this is my grand theory that I mentioned earlier. Safdie is making a John Hughes 1980s film on speed, or maybe cocaine, but it has all the story beats of those kind of 80s story films about going up against impossible odds. I think what clicked in my head was the score. So the score is done by Daniel Lapitan. It's very anachronistic because it has a lot of 80s pop music drops in this thing, as well as a kind of electronic ambient score too, but it has a very 80s feel to it. And I thought, and I'm watching this because I'm like, this feels like a John Hughes movie on meth or something. It's crazy. And then when the film ends with that Tears for Fears needle drop, which is exactly what I think may be the greatest needle drop in the history of cinema, which is Martha Coolidge's Real Genius. At the end of that movie, that ends with the very same song. And that's why I'm convinced that he, in a weird way, is making his dark, Odyssey-esque John Hughes 80s movie through all of this.
Fair enough. I mean, I would not have put those together, but I see that it fits, you know? I mean, maybe if we can get Mr. Josh Safdie on the phone, we can ask him what his, if you've been watching too much Ferris Bueller or whatever.
I don't know. The way it starts, the whole thing, and then it was that last Tears for Fears drop, and I'm like, yep, that's what this is. He's making one of an 80s rom-com drama type thing here, just for a more, I don't know, a sharper, darker edge to it. That's all. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy about that, but I just could not get away from that.
All right. I mean, it's, you know what? Interpretation is valid, Chris.
I appreciate that, buddy. I know I've been talking for a while. What about you? What else do you have to say about good old Martin Supreme?
No, I mean, I don't want to throw too much out there insofar as, you should go out and see this film. I mean, obviously, like I said, or Chris and I have said, I mean, Timothée Chalamet is really good in this. He's he's much more engaging and much more sympathetic than some of the other Safdie characters that you've seen in the movies past. So, I mean, I think that charm is, I think, critical to the success of this film. And the cast around him is all game and very enjoyable. Overall, I think it was, as Chris said, and I think it's somehow managed to be one of the better films we've seen this year.
Yeah. Tyler, the creator, I love that hustle scene at the bowling alley. I mean, there's so many great moments in this thing. And what I love, too, is that you really never know where it's going, right? He keeps introducing different characters, different spins, different moments that just you're on the edge of your seat basically the entire time. And it is wholly successful, Matt. I'm giving Marty Supreme an A.
I'm going to give it an A as well.
I would be shocked if this didn't get a Best Picture nomination. And I think good old Timothy probably gets a nom as well. But, yeah, just great entertainment. About 2.5 hours to prepare yourself, but it didn't feel like that for me at all. And it is currently in theaters. If you've had a chance to see it, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Matt, before we venture into the final segment and talk about 5 things that we enjoyed in 2025, independent of the movies we covered for the show, I just want to have a moment of silence and get your thoughts on the shutting down, the closure, finally, it's actually happening, of MTV. Being a shell of itself for probably, the last 15 years?
Longer than that, probably, yeah.
I can't explain to you kids out there what a cultural touchstone MTV was at the time when it launched. And probably for the first 10 years of its life. It was a major influence on me. I cannot tell you how obsessed I was with the little game show they did, Remote Control. You ever watch Remote Control?
I remember. I remember Remote Control. Yeah, definitely.
My introduction to the lovely Kari Wurr, who I ended up finding out was the sister of one of my his friends in college.
Wow.
Never got to meet her, unfortunately, but he knew her really well because it was his best friend's sister, Kari Wurr. I was that close, Matt. She's from Connecticut. So, yeah. And I actually did in grade school. Was it 6th grade? I think it was 6th grade. 7th grade? Middle school, we'll say. We had a talent show at at the school. And I was going to do a version of Remote Control. And we did an audition for it for the talent show. I was hosting. We had contestants. It was a whole thing. I introduced the first question, and I said, "What cartoon bird was known for its pecker?" And that was it. We didn't get any further. I probably should have sat on that one.
Should have saved that one to the end.
Yeah, or not until it was actually the show, until we were actually performing instead of the tryout thing. But I just watching so many of those videos over it's sad. It's sad. Part of me feels like, how do you screw that up? I guess the internet and YouTube and all that stuff is a death knell for that, but I don't know. I bet if you had a curated, focused channel that just ran music videos and actually did it, it could survive.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's
sad.
I was not aware of that. That is very sad. I mean, I still, every now and again when, I'll throw on, they still have a couple video channels, right? They have MTV Classic where they'll still play old videos. They'll have an 80s block or a 90s block or whatever. And it's oh yeah, I remember this, just throwing this on and just letting it sit in the background because you just didn't have anything else to watch. I mean, it was, it's a sad day, Chris. Bums me out. Thank you for that.
That's what I'm here for.
Good.
Okay.
Well, you've successfully brought me down enough, so.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, now that that's over, we'll go ahead then and wrap up the show, and Matt and I will talk about 5 other things we really enjoyed in what has been an absolutely hell year for 2025.
Now, it's important to distinguish what kind of killers we're talking about here.
Serial killers can operate over many years and have very distinct patterns when selecting their victims.
while spree killers don't have cooling off periods and kill like 2 or more people in a short amount of time.
So it's like a Jeffrey Dahmer versus a Charles Starkweather.
But what kind of killer is operating in Rosedale right now?
And more importantly, is he behind the disappearance of Craig Thompson?
And even more important,
Who will be next?
Matt, that is a clip from 2017's Tragedy Girls, a movie I have been wanting to see basically since it came out. Never had a chance to. I finally sat down and watched it on Shudder about 2-3 months ago. And I had heard great things, and I loved it. Have you seen Tragedy Girls?
No, I haven't. I haven't even actually heard of it, I don't think.
Stars Brianna Hildebrand. She's in the Deadpool movie. She played, was it Quake? I can't remember. The girl, the short black hair. I can't remember her name. But
Negasonic.
Hey, Yukio.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah. And Alexander Shipp, Josh Hutcherson is in it. Craig Robinson has a funny scene in it. Of course, Hollywood's favorite boy, Jack Quaid, is in it. Kevin Durand. So, Hollywood's best boy? I can't remember what his role is there on Comedy Bang Bang. But it is very funny. It's about 2 girls high school girls who are trying to be big on social media by basically, they're obsessed with serial killers. So they hunt down a serial killer, hold them hostage, but then they kill people as well and try and blame it on the serial killer, trying to beef up their own social media image. And it's very funny, oddly sweet at times as well, and it's a lot of fun. So I had a blast with Tragedy Girls, so I wanted to give it some praise.
All right, let's check it out.
What about you, Matt?
Oh, that was your number 5? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, then my number 5 then is going to be the first of 2 games that are on my list. This one is called Dispatch. It is kind of a throwback to almost like a point-and-click adventure. It's not like a lot of... there's no Twitch, there's no quick time events really. If you've ever played one of the Telltale games, like where The Walking Dead, where it's almost like an interactive cartoon kind of thing, that's what I
had the Batman one. I never played it, but I have the Batman one.
So it's that type of, it's in that same vein. It's by some of the same guys. But basically you play a ex-superhero who is now working as the dispatcher for basically the Suicide Squad, and you are sending out these captured supervillains on these missions to go out and fulfill whatever we need them to do in these kind of dangerous Suicide Squad type missions. It's written really, really well. The characters are really charming. The art style is really charming. The story is great. The acting is great. It's a little PG-13 at times, maybe even just creeping into R, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
2 F-bombs?
Yeah. So I guess if it's not like your typical kind of game that's popular these days, but it is getting a lot of love, and it's well worth your time.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I'll have to check it out because I'm sure I won't. No disrespect.
No,
to
that's
you.
fine. You should check it out.
Yes, sir. My number 4 then, though I think really Tragedy Girls would be higher up on my list. It's just that I wanted to use that as the audio clip. I'm going to go with Sovereign, written and directed by Christian Swegel, starring Nick Offerman, Jacob Tremblay, and Dennis Quaid. Offerman and Tremblay play a father-son duo who are sovereign citizens. If you're not familiar with that concept, basically they're kind of like an anti-government extremist where they have a really interesting interpretation of the Constitution and how the laws work. And it's just them basically going through their lives at times on the run, but also trying to raise money to support themselves by forwarding or promoting this movement. The whole time, the father and son careening towards, and also the law enforcement careening towards just an absolute horrific ending. I was going into this thinking maybe it'd be like The Order, which is a surprise film I really enjoyed, I think, from last year. I was thinking another one of that, kind of like an action-packed thing, but that's not. This is more of a drama, family dynamic, focusing both on Offerman and Tremblay as well as Dennis Quaid and his son, who is also, both of them are law enforcement as well, and how the two families kind of crash together at the end of the film. And it's really, I find it really interesting. It may feel a little light at times, but overall, the performance in it are all, I think, top-notch. Offerman's fantastic in it. So I think if you haven't seen Sovereign, you should definitely check it out.
So then my number 4 then is an album. The kind of political climate has kind of pulled me back into the hardcore scene, which I left when I was, a much younger man. And kind of back into, the orbit of that hardcore punk, more political punk kind of thing. And a lot of good albums came out. The latest Scowl album, you had the latest from End It. Turnstile released a pretty good album, though not as good as their last one. But I have been a big fan of the latest from Military Gun called God Save the Gun. It's a kind of post-hardcore, melodic hardcore band. A lot of fun, good energy, very catchy, but at the same time still pretty riffy and rough. So I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's a genre I've never really gotten into at all. Is that more the stuff like that's
I mean,
kind of stuff?
So I would say
is that more death metal?
No, I mean it's hardcore kind of grew out of punk, right? So then you had guys like, Bad Brains or Minor Threat. Those were kind of the original guys. Black Flag. Okay. They were kind of very political, kind of more aggressive and fast. And it kind of grew. To me, it does sound very metally. It's very riffy, and there is usually a lot of yelling, maybe even some screaming. But to me, hardcore has a groove. Like it has a flow and a groove to it that is a lot of fun. If you can listen to something and make a stank face, that's all, what I'm all about when I'm listening to music, getting angry about stuff.
I tend to shift to the Clash in those moments. Yeah, that's about as far as I get.
Fair enough.
I know you're not a big Social Distortion fan, though.
I'm not. I mean, right? Mostly vocals don't bother me. They don't have to be the best vocals. I just cannot get past Homeboy's voice. Like, it just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, they're not overtly political, really, either. Their stuff tends to be more, I don't know, growing up in the a hard life, a lot of love stuff, too. Ness he's romantic at heart, clearly. All right. Well, then my number 3, then, is a film from 1974. I had always heard how great it was. I bought the deluxe edition of this from Radiance a year or two ago, and I finally sat down and watched it this year. And that is Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz's Messiah of Evil. A young woman's father disappears, so she goes to this small coastal town in California to find out what happened to him. And things get weirder and weirder, and she realizes basically it's an entire town that is like this weird undead cult, but it has this kind of weird psychedelic kind of feel to it at times, and the whole thing feels like you're shifting or sifting through like a mist of a really unsettling dream on the verge of a nightmare at any point. The film is all aesthetics, and it just you feel weird and uncomfortable throughout the whole thing. And it's ambience and mood all the way through, and it is great. If you have not seen Messiah of Evil, you should definitely check it out. I think it was on Shudder for a while, and it looks like it's available on Tubi right now. So there you go. Have you seen Messiah?
I have not. No, never even heard of it. All right. Okay. All right. Well, then my number 3 then is the second game on my list. It's called Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. It's a kind of out of nowhere original IP from a French studio that released this kind of RPG fantasy game that's kind of takes place in the Belle Epoque region of France, or the time period of France. And it was nothing it should not be as good as it is. It's just, a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to get too much into it, but if you haven't played it, I know Chris won't, but if you haven't played it, go out and do yourself a favor and get it. It's on sale right now on Steam if you're a PC bro. Otherwise, I'm sure you can find it on Xbox or PS5.
I want to play. I want to play GoldenEye again.
Yeah,
but I'd have to get like a Switch, right, to do that.
I think so.
Although I guess there's mods you can find online, or not emulators.
Yeah.
Right?
If you can,
I don't think they work very well.
I don't know. I mean, if you can find them before Nintendo shuts them down, because they are brutal about doing that.
All right. I have the PS3 reboot of it. I could, and I've never played that. Maybe I could power that up. I still have my old PS3.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Look at me.
Look at you.
My next one, I'm going to go with a film I actually just watched today. And that is Ephes from earlier this year. I guess it's technically a 2024 film. But it takes place in a small Massachusetts town. And we have two teams of middle-aged guys. They play baseball in this one field, but it's about to be demolished to build a new school. And the whole film basically takes place on the field as these guys have that one last hurrah on this field that they've been playing ball on forever. And it is, I gotta tell you, Matt, I was really impressed by this film. It has how do I describe it? It's like a great kind of middle-aged guy dealing with his own mortality as his youth and all that stuff is kind of slowly slipping away. Almost like a positive view of a slightly toxic masculinity. But basically, guys get together and pick on each other and stuff too. There's a ton of that in here. There's a lot of moments off camera, hearing voices of players yelling at each other with some very funny little digs. It is ultimately heartwarming and sad, but entirely enjoyable. There are no real names in this film, just a whole bunch of people that I guess this director knows. I don't know, but there's an authenticity to it that you can't get past. And I don't know. I really, really enjoyed Ephes. I don't know where it is you can watch it. It's on Mubi right now, and I think you can rent it as well from other bunch of places like Amazon and Apple TV, all your normal places.
All right,
so,
very good. All right, so my number 2 then is Peacemaker season 2. I took a little bit of time to catch up with this.
I didn't think of that's a great pick. Yeah.
Peacemaker season 2. I really, really surprisingly enjoyed the first season of this. This is even better. John Cena, what he's putting out there is great. What James Gunn is putting out there, what everybody brings to the table is a lot of fun. It's maybe not as goofy in parts, right? Maybe we could have used a little bit more vigilante in the early goings, but he comes back around towards the end there and he brings down the funny. But what John Cena did in this season was just fantastic. So do yourself a favor, check it out. I mean, the only thing is it was such a long gap between season 1 and season 2, and I don't know if we're gonna get any more, because
supposedly no, there's not going to be a third season. I had read that there was talk of them doing a show based on I'm blanking on it now. What is the team they come up with at the end?
Checkmate.
It's Checkmate. That maybe there'll be a Checkmate show. Yeah. But from what I understand, it's more just going to fold into the greater DCU at this point instead. That there is no plan for a third season.
It's too bad.
So.
It's really too bad. Tim Meadows makes an all-timer appearance in this. Bird blindness and him not being able to remember people's names is just chef's kiss. It's amazing.
I love the nicknames he gives to the
titties. You're going to be okay.
I really think it was better than the first season. Honestly, it may be the best DC property released in 2025. Yeah, really, I think it's that good. I really enjoyed it. And Cena, dear Lord, man. You want to talk about a guy who's come a long way. Probably the best wrestler turned actor, I think, who's ever come out of the business. I mean, he shows that a range and depth in that series that I didn't know was possible for him, and he really knocks it out of the park. He's really, really good in that. My number 1 then was probably the most pleasant surprise for me of the entire holiday season. That is the Hallmark original, Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper.
Okay.
So my wife, Mrs. First Run, is a big Hallmark fan. We have the Hallmark Plus app. And we watched this one featuring Robert Buckley and Kimberly Sustad, where Buckley plays a guy named Ted. He has to go home for the holidays. He's a weatherman. And he's always been subject to bad luck. All these things kind of always go wrong. And he ends up running into his high school crush, that's Sustad, who's actually a doctor now. He keeps getting injured and he ends up at the hospital and meets her. And then, of course, circumstances go, the two of them spend more time together. Maybe they fall in love. All the Hallmark things are there. But this was actually very clever, very well written. Buckley is very charismatic, as is Sustad. But I actually laughed out loud 3 or 4 times watching. It's not because it's bad, but because it's that good. I was pleasantly surprised by Ted Cooper, and I really enjoyed it. So if you have a chance to check it, maybe if you have the app, watch it online. But Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. I know the holiday season's over, but I had a lot of fun with that Hallmark movie this year.
Fantastic. I'll never watch that, but maybe I will, but I doubt it. All right. So my number 1 then is as good as Peacemaker season 2 was. It was my second favorite season of the year. My first is Andor season 2. Maybe hands down I would say it's the best Star Wars that you can get, maybe outside of Empire Strikes Back. But just kind of showing the birth of the rebellion, kind of how nasty it has to be, the descent into fascism, and Skarsgård just kills it in this show. It is a side of Star Wars that you've never really gotten a glimpse of, about how brutal and cold everybody has to be in order to make this rebellion work. And it is
even the rebels themselves. You're right. Maybe not everybody's doing things they're doing things for their own reasons, independent of the trying to free the it brings Star Wars, obviously, especially the original trilogy, was based off of old serials, right? It had a kind of a very good guy versus bad guy, black, white type of feel to it. And they've tried to bring in more nuance and shades of gray to it, but they've never been really effective until they got to this season, when you really kind of see some of the stuff that it takes to kind of fight against a fascist empire. And would you be willing to do those kinds of things? And the answer for probably most people watching it is no. Yeah. No, man, that is a great pick, Matt. I really just whiffed on. I just didn't think about TV shows. I did a bad job on that, because you're entirely right. Andor would be my absolute number 1. It's probably, I think, I don't know, is it the second best Star Wars related thing ever made? I may feel that way. I may go Empire, Andor, and then A New Hope. Andor, particularly that second season, I think is really that good. There's so much depth isn't the right word, but just more dimension, more shades of gray that we just we haven't gotten previously. Yeah, no, that is a fantastic pick, Matt. Thank you for remembering that. And I guess I want to make an honorable mention, Matt, is to Second Sight Studios, I think, go-to boutique label. I got my Possession set.
Fancy.
Which includes the shooting script. Okay. Maybe some people are excited about that. I don't know. The thing is a behemoth. It weighs like 5 pounds or something. It's massive. Right. So, but I've been waiting for the Second Sight 4K Possession set for probably 3 years now. And I did get the Reanimator one too, the 4K one from Second Sight. I traded in my Arrow one at Viper Video here in Tampa. Thankfully, I didn't realize at the time, the integral cut is included in this set, like it was in the Arrow set. So that's kind of the combination version of extra scenes, I think, from like a TV version, and so it's like a fuller version of the movie. But yeah, I'm very excited for this 4K Reanimator as well. So, but Second Sight, man, best studio going, I think. They did Possession, Reanimator, Nice Guys, Florida Project, the Pusher Trilogy, Pearl and Maxine, House of the Devil, a bunch of stuff this year from them, and just fantastic. And they've already announced for next year, Ugly Stepsister, which is one of my favorite films of the year, is getting a nice deluxe edition treatment from them, 4K and Blu-ray. So great stuff. Matt, any honorable mentions for you? Or
I think I'm good. I didn't make any honorable mentions for this go round.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You had some great picks. What about you folks? What is something you really enjoyed in 2025? We'd love to hear from you. Oh, Matt, and of course I got my few small beers. Yeah. You didn't respond to me. Matt drives me crazy. I will text him, and then he never responds to me. I sent him for Christmas, I think, something pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
And and you're not going to get it till like June of next year, unfortunately, because they're not going to make. You could actually still get it right now if you go on to what is it? What is
Kickstarter?
It's Kickstarter. Fangoria is producing a gigantic. I think it's over 320 pages now because they keep hitting goals. But just about the history of horror movies, and it's going to have reprints of old articles as well as some new writings, pictures. It's going to be awesome. And also, the version we got includes an access to the entire digital art. They're digitally archiving every single issue of Fangoria, as well as some of the offshoots, spinoff magazines they did. And we're going to have lifetime access to that, Matt. So if you ever want to read an article about The Thing from 1982, you'll be able to do that once it's up and running. It's not producing it till June or July of next year, but you can still buy into it right now. I don't think going to get all the perks that maybe you would have if you had bought in early. So I sent Matt that, and then I got a koozie of Del Toro from One Bad After Another with a few small beers, which I absolutely adore. So you did get
Yeah, so I didn't see it when I opened the package. So that's why I was like, oh, I'll have to go back and look. I don't like koozie. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So then luckily I had not thrown it away, and I went and found it, and I pulled it out. I was like, oh, but that was like 2 days later, so I didn't. That's why I didn't respond. I mean, but yes, I did get it. Thank you. It's very funny. I enjoy it quite much. And your guess was probably better than the gift that you're gonna get, but I did at least put some thought into it. If it ever gets here, for me then to turn around and send it to you.
I'm sure I'll love it. Matt got me a shirt a couple of years ago that I love that I still can't quite fit in. That's why I haven't worn it when he's on camera. I'm closer than I was when I first got it. But
which one was that?
It was a yellow one. It was like an old Connecticut
store. The Video Galaxy.
Video Galaxy. Thank you. I tried it on actually like 2 weeks ago because I was going to wear it on camera for you. But I'm like, nope, not quite yet. We're getting there.
Sorry about that.
So, all right. So what's coming up next week on the big show?
We're going to watch something called The Plague, which I actually just saw a little bit of based on some internet banner ad that I saw. So I don't know much about it, but I'm intrigued. And now I'm not even going to search anything out, so I can go in as blind as possible.
Smart. Yeah, and I'm going to see that, and I'm going to try and get in The Secret Agent as well. The Mastermind, I really want to see, which is Kelly Reichardt's latest film. That's available online, too. I'll be checking that out at some point. Die My Love from Lynn Ramsey. There's so many things I want to catch up with. But for sure, yeah, we'll be discussing The Plague, which is supposed to be a very, very good horror film. And we're going to start our countdown. Not that one. We're going to talk about our 10 most anticipated films of 2026. We're going to do numbers 10 through 6 for next week, and then obviously 5 through 1 the following week. But that's that.
Wonderful.
So, do I want to say it, Matt? Do I want to say it? I feel like if I say it, I'll actually do it because I'm saying that I'll do it. So I've been suffering from a while now from imposter syndrome. Like, nobody cares about this. Nobody cares what I have to say. That's why I'm not doing any of this stuff. But I've talked about The Great Unwatched, which is me going through all the films that I own that I have never watched. I want to do at least one a month. So I'm going to say it now. I'm going to do one a month. Beginning of the new year for January. Still sealed. I've had it for 3 years. I've never watched it. This is my favorite musician. Matt, I'm going to watch and discuss at some point Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, the film featuring David Bowie. And it's Nagase Yoshimi's film. It's been still sealed, Matt, in my collection on my shelf for years. Right. So I am going to watch it, and I will do a special off-show thing. It'll be its own separate thing. I'm not going to force Matt to do anything or have to edit anything involving it. So that's
fantastic.
And then there you go. In the meantime, you can check us out at thefirstrun.com. There's a little player there. You can just hit play, and the shows will start playing. There's an archive of all the old shows. The report card is there. I still got a couple weeks, Matt, till I have to update that because we're still catching up. We have to do No Other Choice yet as well. There's a couple things that we'll have to catch up with. As usual, our top 10 films of the year won't probably hit until late January, early February. So what else? Talking about the report card. Good. Find us also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. And then head on over to Apple Podcasts, give us a review. It'll help other people find the show. And I guess that's that. So we're going to go ahead, take an extended break. We'll hope you had a great holiday. I hope you have a great new year. We love you all very much. Hopefully 2026 will be better. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Take care of yourselves. All right. We'll see you soon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.